baby beard.
Waited for you, Fry.
This episode traumatized me as a young person.
My head is hurting again.
Where's my firstborn son?
God does not care about me masturbating.
Your singing is bad and you should feel bad. First get out into the bus, so you're like, oh no!
Yeah, I don't like myself becoming the protagonist of this podcast.
You've been in
Yeah, because you haven't learned anything.
Oh, shut up and to take my podcast.
Oh, did you hear my stomach growl
I
as well?
absolutely did.
I was concerned it was mine.
No, it's right by my kidney too.
What?
I don't know what that means.
right.
Does a kidney growl?
Do you eat too much
We'll
salt?
be right back.
I do.
It sounds like a lyric in Color of the Wind, honestly.
Do kidney?
Have you ever heard the kidney?
Kidney?
Oh my God. Please shoot me now.
Reset.
Sean, what the fuck are we doing here?
Well, we've made them wait a month, and it's all in good time because it is time once again for Shut Up and Take My Podcast, the Australian Futurama podcast that pits episode against episode in a bloody glorious tournament battle for your entertainment. And good news, everyone. We're still in the wildcard bracket.
There's a delicious little pause there.
Yes, you like it.
I do like it.
We have what I believe is the matchup is Chris's winner pick, which is we did just watch it.
Let him finish. Let him finish.
Hell is Other Robots.
Took you far longer than I thought it was going to.
Sorry, I was thinking about...
You can't even think what you were thinking about.
Moving on.
Up against Ellen's pick, which is
The Devil's Hands are idle playthings.
Not so hard, is it?
got there much quicker. And to talk about it, we'll also be having Phil.
Oh, John Bear, fetch the chocolate frosting.
And we're joined by...
Sean.
Yeah, it's hard when I change around the format a bit, isn't
yeah.
it?
We're all a bit off kilter.
I had to get in there.
So this is it, guys. This is the final chance for an episode to get into the season 8. Season 8?
The special season.
The special season.
The bonus season.
No spoilers, but I've already decided.
Oh, I mean, I think we all have, right?
Oh, really? I haven't.
Yeah, I
Oh, you
decided.
haven't?
No.
Okay.
I found this one particularly difficult.
Sean will be accepting bribes, ladies and gentlemen.
Over the next 20 minutes.
I have a question. What happens if we tie?
Well,
We have
here's-
to fight. You and me, since it's
Okay.
our picks.
So
have to
I've
watch
actually
them both again.
I've actually given a fair amount of thought to this.
Okay.
So in the wild card bracket, we follow along the rule that we did for the end of the last season, which is they will both go into the finale.
Oh.
So it'll potentially be a three-way, which would include last month's winner.
That sounds sexy.
Oh.
A three-way.
However, once we get into the proper tournament, we will not allow that.
No,
Okay.
we'd have to make a choice
There'll
by
be
then.
an impartial fifth judge.
Is it Jesus?
If Paul Goodman is Jesus, then yes.
Is he?
Well,
he might be.
He
for
might-
all
he
I
might
know.
be.
Remember when John Lennon saying he was bigger than Jesus was
Remember
like
when-
the biggest thing, the
Yeah.
biggest scandal
The
that
big
you could
scandal.
do in music?
Was the scandal bigger than Jesus?
then Kanye's like, yeah, I'm Jesus. Yeah.
I'm actually God.
Yeah.
I got Bad Dragon. Bad Dragon? That's a sex toy
It
company.
is a sex toy
Bad
company.
Dragon. We tried to get sponsored by them
Bad
once.
Dragon.
Did we?
Please sponsor
Yeah, we tried.
them. Please sponsor us.
I think Chris
Did we
wanted
make
us-
a concerted effort, or was
No.
it just me
No.
going,
No, we just said
I
it on-
will like one Bad Dragon dildo,
We said it,
please."
and I may have tagged them in a tweet.
We did tag them in a tweet.
And they never responded.
no.
How dare.
There's always time.
Yeah, I'd be,
Always time.
I'd be happy
Busy
to sponsor.
molding dragon dicks.
Oh, ugh.
They also do aliens.
And other things that I don't want to talk about.
So has everyone, by the way, off the top, has everyone already decided where they're going?
I thought you were going to say
Yeah.
used a bad dragon toy.
Has everyone
I'm
used a bad
In
dragon?
this economy.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
They're a bit pricey.
Yeah, they're very,
Yeah.
very pricey.
Yeah.
Because I haven't decided where I'm at.
Okay.
And what about you, Chris? Have you decided?
I have.
Oh,
I have
interesting.
decided where I'm at.
Oh, interesting.
Do you want me to talk about that, or do you want to go round the table?
Oh, you know what? Let's
Should we just talk about the
let's
episodes?
just, yeah, well,
themselves?
I mean, it's fairly, you know, well,
People-
whatever you want.
People know what episodes we've watched.
Yeah, we have.
Hell is
Yeah.
Other Robots.
Do you remember now?
Yeah.
It's
That's why I was-
the two Robot Devil episodes,
Yeah.
which also have musical numbers.
That's right.
What are the other similarities? There's quite a few.
They all have Leela,
Yep. As in kind of
the character.
Yeah, and
I was like, she's not so central to the plot in Hella's Other
and
Robots.
Fry.
They both have Reverend Bot as a.
Oh, that's right. They
do.
both have Reverend Bot. Any other?
They have deals
Yeah.
in that Bender signs up to a religion and makes a deal.
They
And
both
that-
have the same musical number. We only hear an instrumental
That's right,
version
that's
in,
right.
That's
in
right.
Devil's Hand.
Doug.
And they're both
Yeah.
fairly Bender, Leela, Fry kind of centered.
Yeah, the
Yes.
trio.
The first one is much more about Bender.
Yes.
Because it's about his struggle with addiction.
And then the
Yeah.
other two just try and, make him not be that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
What do you think about the electricity abuse as a vehicle for talking about drug abuse? Because they kind of like they throw it away after a while, and then it becomes more about the literal religion thing that happens at the end.
Well, yeah, he resolves it as a plot device.
I don't necessarily think it's about like drug use is bad, but that literally Bender has an incredibly addictive personality and will take anything and just drive it to the like it's too good for him to not abuse and
That's
end up in
right,
a gutter.
yeah.
I
did
don't know. Yeah, until you pointed that out, I was like, oh, I didn't.
it did remind me of what I feel like Futurama does well, is that they didn't like severely like lampshade it. It's kind of just, it felt just kind of there and it's a nice Futurama-y type analogy to it that I thought they do rather well. And they didn't, as you said, they didn't need to make the whole episode about it because
Yeah.
that wasn't the point. Bender's journey through that.
Yes. Well, that's the thing,
We
right?
just need him to hit rock bottom.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It also parodies that kind of classic journey of like, sinner / drug user who
Well, gee, mister.
finds
My
religion
mom
and
said I'm not supposed to.
yeah.
Born,
But then
born again.
there's someone becomes born again and then become insufferable, and you want their old personality back. So it's sort of playing on the tropes as much as it is playing on
Yeah.
drug abuse itself. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it fairly clearly mirrors like what a lot of people experience when people come out of rehab and they go over the top and are unable to deal. So I think it's pretty true to life.
Yes, I really enjoy that dinner scene.
Oh God.
It's very good.
I
probably
just
my
wanted them
favourite
to
scene.
eat.
I
God.
People have been there, haven't you? You've all been in situations like
Hell's
that.
Us?
No,
What?
no. Like with the insufferable Christians.
Oh, was I the insufferable Christian?
I know I was at one point in my life, but I also knew that at that same point there were more insufferable Christians around me.
I've never had the long grace, like not the
Yeah.
super long
Oh, no,
grace.
fuck no.
It's always very short. I do know that like my mum's seeing someone at the moment and they're a Jehovah's Witness, which I'm like, okay, what? I guess I won't be expecting a birthday present
or a blood transfusion.
or a blood trans.
Maybe you should get
for
them,
your birthday.
And that's exactly what I wanted.
Need blood.
get them one of those cakes they get at Troy and Community.
Yes.
Hey, that's the
congratulations.
first reference of the episode that I don't get.
Have
They
you
get-
not watched Community?
You know I've not watched Community.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Oh,
we-
no, someone else has been
Yeah,
watching
you
Community.
did.
Costa's
Yeah.
been watching
One of the
Community.
characters is a Jehovah's Witness, and they get him a birthday cake,
In quotes.
which is it says, "Please enjoy this cake
Please enjoy this
Yeah.
dessert on the
anniversary."
anniversary of your expulsion from
the
the
womb.
womb.
A
Yeah.
uterus.
As someone who
Was expelled from a uterus?
no, I was just going to say, as someone who was a Christian, however, has only
Your
had
name's
a
Sean.
yes. I've been Sean again.
I'm a Christian.
Oh,
I'm a
and he's
Christian.
back with the rally.
I'm a Christian.
Oh,
I'm a Chris.
Oh, fuck
Yeah.
me.
Oh yeah.
However, I've only had a very passing rendezvous, as it were, with drugs in general.
right.
Ah.
I've only partaken of the weed.
The devil's lettuce.
Yes.
The laser lettuce.
The sticky icky.
Yes.
The Mary Jane,
The
if you
Johnny
will.
Red Eye.
And
Is this the episode?
it fucked me. It fucked me.
Oh, that's right.
wow.
You had a
I
really
had a-
bad trip.
I had a
yeah.
bad
You went whitey, or no? You overdid it, right? You
No,
told me this story.
So my partner basically
that's
she
right.
The
she got
edibles.
she got half of an edible. She broke one in half.
Yeah.
And
You got to take the corner, man.
the instruction that I didn't hear, which was the only instruction I was given, was take a bite and then see how you feel after an hour.
Everybody's got this story.
I just saw the half
fucking
got pushed
I
down.
don't.
Don't. Oh
And
my
I
god!
ate the full thing.
As soon
And I
as
was
you,
fine for an hour.
you've told me the story, and I knew exactly where it's going as soon as it started. I'm like, yeah, I know how
How
that
long did
feels.
it-
I know how bad it is.
It took an hour.
An hour for
Because I
the
ate
trip?
it. I ate it, and then we were watching The Road to El Dorado.
Oh no, the trip would have been about 3 hours, I imagine.
Oh, how long did it go for?
Yeah, sorry, that's what I meant.
4 hours, but I was asleep after 2.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not so
Because
bad.
it felt like my head was going through the floor, and I was not comfortable with that situation.
Yeah.
You got zero tolerance. You would have just been tripping balls.
Nah, I was like, this was an incorrect thing to do, wasn't it?
This was a bad decision.
This is hell.
Yeah, my favorite thing
Hey.
about that scene, though, we were on weird people being weirdo and clingy, is Fry's face.
Sorry, what?
Oh, yeah,
Where-
Bender going in for
Going
the...
in- going in
Everyone line up for the hug.
Hugs.
Let's tear
Oh,
down
yeah.
some walls. No one wants that.
No, they
no
don't.
one wants that,
Oh, they
especially
don't.
at dinner time.
The force hug.
The
Yeah.
hug fry.
So-
Oh, yeah.
You're my friend.
If you're playing bingo, Phil gets us back on track. You can cross that square off now.
Or take a shot.
Take a
Yeah,
shot.
take a shot. Take a shot.
Or
I think it was a
take
sip.
a puff.
I think that has to be a...
Puff, yes.
What is
Don't
a sh-
forget to pass.
What is a shot, though? What is down
no,
the rest of your drink? Like, what is a down the rest of your drink style shut up?
It would have to be something that doesn't happen so often that you would get plastered from doing it. Maybe it's a good voice that we do.
That is
There you
a
go.
good impression. That's a great one.
There you go.
That is fantastic.
Hedonism bot not included because we always
Yeah.
do great hedonism bots. Oh, hedonism bot.
Oh, he's
the
in
two
both.
hedonism bot episodes.
Your
Features.
your
Yeah.
canon favorite character in Futurama?
Definitely my favorite character.
Oh,
yeah.
he's beloved.
He's wonderful. The voice actor is... Who is the voice actor for him?
Oh God. Oh, who am I? Oh.
Is that Lamar?
That's no. I would say that's Billy West.
Slight segue. How freaking weird was it to go back to Hell is
Season
Other
1?
Robots and hear Bender's voice, and also was it Hermes?
Hermes' voice was really different
So
too. Yeah.
strange.
Well, Bender has got old Homer syndrome. And he just has that kind of that garbled kind of tone.
Where they want to go for frosty chocolate milkshake.
Yeah. We're kind of
It's
going
like, and
into
it's kind of like denasalized as well.
Yeah.
It's strange.
His
So,
voice
like,
was very weird.
and
Yeah.
Hermes was just kind of non-exaggerated Jamaican. It was a much more kind of low-key, underplayed.
Yeah.
It didn't sound as deep as well.
No.
it
Sean-
sounded a
Sean,
lot higher in pitch.
You were correct.
Haha, is
It's
it
Billy West?
No,
No.
it's not. It's not Billy West. It'll be oh God, what's his name? Tell me and I'll give you the honor system who I was thinking of.
Maurice
No, it wasn't. I wasn't thinking of Lamash.
Lamash.
Damn.
He does so many
He
voices.
does plenty.
Yes, Simon.
Yeah.
He does enough.
Yes.
Okay, damn, Chris.
Opera? A man writing an opera about a woman? How delightfully... How absurd.
How absurd. That's right. I was going to say quaint, but I'm like,
So was I.
that's not right. I do love as well. I mean, could we do that for like the two genders or non-binary greetings? When he goes, what is it? Courtesans
And gentle fops.
Gentle fops.
Gentle fops.
That's a really good one, isn't
That's
it?
pretty non-gender.
I remember the first
You could be
time we went round.
Courtesan is just a
to-
job, right?
It's a job.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's just a job. So you could
Yeah.
be, like, gender does not equate into being
I
a
don't think.
courtesan.
I
a
don't
male
think.
courtesan?
Yeah, I think you can be
Can
a
you?
male.
I think you can. It just means that you're a,
I mean, you can. Gender positivity.
Yeah, there you
Sex
You
positivity.
can.
you can do
Yes.
whatever you want.
Hey, if you're
sluts.
listening out there,
That's a courtesan.
quarter Sam.
I remember though the first time we did Devil's Hands or Idle Playthings. My favorite thing that I noticed from the episode is when they do the Fry has the 2 CDs for $14.99. There's a picture of Fry naked on the bed, which is the album cover, but he's got his human hands, which means that photo shoot happened before he did the swap. So he
I thought he had the robot
now
hands.
go back and look.
Oh.
He had that photo shoot done beforehand.
Of course
Maybe
he did.
they photoshopped it.
But why? The hands are a part of his image. There's no way they did.
Maybe
So you guys are telling me
I love that you're trying to defend him, but he totally had that photo shoot done before.
But he also has the holophoner.
Yeah, that you can Photoshop it. And no, he was learning the holophone before. He was just not good at it.
Well,
are you
I
guys
guess
saying
so,
that you
yeah.
don't have nude photos with your musical instruments
It's my
already?
no.
In
Wait, hang on.
Yeah, I
the-
got me
No.
with a drum kit in my
in the chance that maybe... have I told you about the story where I went to a photo shoot and the guy seemed really sketchy, but I got some really good photos out of it? That's the story. Moving on.
That's the story because you're a man. If I said that story, it would end with me.
I feel like Chris
dead
Pratt
in a
has the same
dumpster.
story.
He does. He literally does.
Yeah. Well, I do have a photo shoot of it, actually. It's me on the drums and my ball sack is just sitting on the thing there.
When you
fuck are you talking about?
when you unzipped and it hit the snare, did it go?
Ba-dum.
You've got to have a fucking long schlong to have that happen.
Coincidentally, the
Couldn't
name
you
of my
just
first
angle
single.
That's the new band. Hello, Illinois. I don't
right.
know why we're in Illinois, but we're in Illinois.
You're right there,
long
Phil?
schlong.
You doing all right there?
Yes.
He's trying to get us
Do you want
back
to
on
get us back on track?
No, keep going. It's all
Okay.
good.
All right. What is the reason, by the way, Ellen, that you brought up Devil's Hands? Obviously, the first one's because I took your pick.
Yeah, all you old bitches took my pick.
Yeah.
Well, it's just a really great episode. It clips along at a very good pace. I generally like ones that aren't Bender central. I like it when he's a good supporting player, which he absolutely is in Idle Hands. When he's not like he's cruel enough just so's you like him. You know what I mean?
Just so's you like him.
Yeah, it's not like crazy and it's not all about him. He's a good supporting player. We've got the romance between Fry and Leela, which is all very sweet. It's just a very sweet but also wacky and funny episode. And it's got songs. It's got really, really freaking good songs.
And I think the writing's like really solid. I love how it's set up in the opening with Fry trying to learn the holophoner, and they remind you what the holophoner is, what it does.
They make
and
a reference to Parasite's Lost
Parasite's
as well.
Lost,
Yeah.
and they just sort of recontextualize it, and it instantly sets up what the stakes and what the whole episode's going to be about. I need to learn the holophoner because it will show the feelings I have inside for Leela.
Which I think is also very romantic. It's not a thing of, like, he's not just doing a thing necessarily to woo her. I mean, he is, but the way he's wooing her is not by deceiving her or not some big, like, silly gesture that's all kind of just like, I love you or blah, blah, blah. It's like, I want to show you the feelings that I have inside and make them external. And
he's not cheating either. He's
No.
just putting himself on an equal playing field so that he can use his ability.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's his soul, it's his music, it's his ideas. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it's a great episode, and obviously we know that it was meant to be the final episode if they didn't get another. If Futurama was no more and it did end and they didn't get renewed, then that was meant to be the end, and I think it's a really good ending for the show. I'm glad that they got to make more, but if we just left it at that, it's a good ending.
I thought of another tie between the two episodes. You get to see the progression of Scruffy's jobs. He started off as a roadie for the Beastie Boys.
That's right.
And he ends up as a squire for Sir Fry.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah. Does
That's
he even
Scruffy's
know Fry?
progression in the field.
That's right. He comes in and it's a Mr. Robot Devil would like to speak to a Mr. Fry.
Mr. Fry.
It's like, does he live here or something? Yeah, what the fuck?
I thought he
Scruffy?
shows in Hedonism Bot, doesn't he?
Both.
Oh, he shows in both of them.
Yes,
shows in
that's
both.
right.
Yeah. And I always, and it's kind of weird. Every now and then I forget that Fry, that's his last name.
Philip J.
Yes.
Fry.
Yeah.
Where Mrs. Mellinger says, "Oh, nice to see you, Philip."
Yes.
Philip. She says Philip in a really funny way as well. I laughed at that.
Philip.
Bender, take your child.
How hard did you
Mr.
have
Bender.
to... He's really good. How hard did you have to hit him?
Quite hard.
Did anyone have a music teacher like that? Or just because everyone here played an instrument, right?
I have a bit of a
Oh, very
story.
briefly.
Yeah, tell us the story.
Because I was going to learn piano and be a good musician or an actual musician as opposed to the piece of shit vocalist that I ended up being.
Great. Love it.
So I was like taking music lessons, and my old primary school, the music building was like very, very separated away from the rest of the school. You had to go up into this little oval area and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I remember going there, and during my music lesson, there was like a fire drill or a surprise assembly or something like that. So then when I walked back to my class from the music room, I couldn't find anyone. And I think I was maybe around, I was in year 2. So however old you are.
What you're
Was this
playing was
the
so
same time you were
bad
playing
that
Habbo
you
Hotel?
killed everyone.
I I honestly, no, it was just, I think I would have been 6 maybe
You would have been 7.
at the time.
Did I cast some
6
sort
or
of
7.
musical
And I was
spell?
just like,
What have I done?
I literally don't know where anyone is. And I tried looking around and I was in such a, like, I got worked up into such a state and I was crying hysterically. And then I said to my mum, I didn't want to do piano.
And you never
anymore.
played again.
I didn't want to do
So
it
I
anymore.
have a story. I was like a drummer, and I was like a real prodigy of a drummer. And then I was just like, I was trying to get into this like specific class in a school, but the teacher was like just like a really perfectionist, angry guy, and he just yell at people and throw stuff at them.
Oh.
Are you?
Yeah.
Can I stop for one? Can I stop for?
Are you doing the plot to Whiplash?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, weird that not.
I bought that for like a good minute. I was like,
We're looking, going, is this a setup to a joke? Or is this,
what the fuck is happening?
I would have thought that because I haven't seen Whiplash.
And also, Chris and I like did jazz in high school, so both of us like that's scans.
That's scans.
I had a lot of
That's right.
sax teachers. One in particular, his name was Andrew. Yeah, I'm calling him out. He was
All the
high
Andrews.
every single lesson.
Great.
Yeah.
I remember he would come in and his eyes were always so
Yeah, I
remember
bloodshot.
having-
And he was
My-
just like,
the-
man, whatever, just do some scales.
When I
Sorry.
when I started doing saxophone a little more seriously when I was in high school, I went over to my music teacher's house and he had his like studio set up and he was always fucking stoned out
Yeah,
of his,
yeah,
out
yeah.
of his gourd.
Yeah.
But I remember when I was very little, when I was about like 13 or 12, my music teacher kept yelling at me because I wouldn't read the music that was coming ahead, right? I would just like start.
You'd be in the moment, man.
Basically, like I was intuitively good at music. I can just pick up and play. I'm not going to look ahead and try and figure out notes. I'm just going to fucking play. At least that's what I thought. What? And so he was like, stop, fucking read the music and like learn what's coming out. Turns out what I actually was doing was squinting and not reading music because I wasn't wearing glasses at that time. And my
So what were
eyesight
you
was
playing?
like I said, intuitively good at music.
You mean it's me
feeling
noggin
it
or
out.
not? You mean it's me peepers, not me noggin?
There you go. Exactly. Yeah. I would look at I would squint, look at the key that the song was in, look at the phrasing of the music, and just play.
That's weird that
And
you could have seen the
occasionally, like if there was a rest or if I could just figure it out, I'd squint a little bit more and get back into it.
Yeah.
It's weird that you could see the key signature, but not any of the fucking notes.
When your active focus shifts from looking, when you start, you
Yeah.
look at the music and then you play, your focus shifts from like looking to playing.
Yeah.
And so the passive focus you lose because you know, it's like when you turn music down when you're driving to look at like numbers on a thing.
I do have a real story. It
Please.
doesn't involve a
Any of
man.
our bullshit.
Or me making up a story about
Make it up, you stole.
stealing a story about a man demanding that I get him pictures of Spider-Man.
Did you get it?
Ellen's choking. Like a lot. This is kind of fun to watch.
Sorry, I took a sip of tea at the wrong time.
It's funny because actors play more than one character in different movies. So I tried to learn the violin in primary school. And
You did.
Yes, and
I said that like that.
you did.
You did.
It's like I remember. It's like,
I was there.
No, you weren't. And there was the joke among my family was that I would never have myself, my instrument, or the music all together at the same time and place.
Yeah.
And if I had those things, I probably hadn't practiced. And then
Were
this
they
year,
right?
I was diagnosed with ADHD, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's
Hey,
why."
family, you're the asshole. I was going to say, I tried to play the piano, and for anyone out there that is listening that is musically inclined, this is in real time how I had to learn. Okay, I'll look there. So that's the treble clef and that first note there. Okay, if I'm going on the scale, that's every good boy deserves fruit. It's the third one. Every good boy, that's a B. Okay, B's on here. Bong.
Next note.
Sean,
Here we
the
go.
rest,
In
the rest
real
of the
time.
band. The rest of the band is 16 bars
Yeah,
ahead.
that's in real
no, they're
time
at the bar.
how I had to learn music.
They're 16 drinks in.
So for you to say, Chris, that you can intuitively do it, I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah, sight reading's hard. It's fucking hard.
Oh, there's spaces? Okay, all cows
fuck
eat
yourself, Chris.
grass.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm pretty good at music, I guess.
Oh, bass clef, good boys don't fly away.
Just for audience's benefit, I'm motioning in a jerk-off fashion to
right.
Chris's
Because
point.
I'm an elitist prick.
Yeah.
Who does write the music for Futurama?
I know this because I have.
We did an episode on.
Yeah, we did do an episode on him, and his name is.
While Sean goes into his mind palace.
He's making very
Has anyone-
frantic
has anyone gone
hand
to-
motions.
Anyone gone to hell? Before?
Sorry, yes.
I'm so sorry,
High
Christopher
school.
Ting. Christopher
Ting. Yeah.
As a quick
That's a
side
perfect
note,
name for someone.
I contacted Christopher Ting to ask him if he would come on for an interview. He said yes. And then I said, cool, when should we do it? And then he never responded back.
Oh, no.
And that was a year ago.
He ghosted
Sorry,
you,
guys.
man.
Yeah.
Christopher
Nice.
Ting is a great name for a percussionist. I'll say it.
Yeah.
An aptronym.
I'm just going to kick your microphone there, Phil.
An aptronym.
An apt name.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
I love it when words work like that.
Yes.
So who's been to hell? Anyone?
Me.
No? Yes?
I had a lot of anxieties about that, like this specific thing
Of being bad going to hell?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
particularly the thing they set up in Hell is Other Robots, where it's like, you agreed to this, and now because you agreed and broke it, now you go to hell. And I'm like,
It's like a phone contract.
yeah, and I was like, I didn't even agree to be baptized, but I did be confirmed, which I'm like, oh, I mean, that's you
on you.
confirm.
That's on
You
you.
RSVP'd to heaven.
Yeah.
And now you're like, nah, maybe I'll just,
Maybe I lie and cheat and steal.
Maybe I'll just wear 2 different fabrics, you know?
are
It's
you-
nothing big.
Are you saying this because you have been to hell?
Chris lives in hell every day of his life.
If you had a face like mine, every day would be hell.
Shut the fuck up.
You're perfectly fine looking.
If I had friends like Sean, every day would be hell.
However, that being said, because your punishment
Yes.
is to be the first person to tell us who you voted for.
Which show I'm voting for?
No, we know the show.
Or who I'm voting for.
Or which hell? Which denomination of hell?
Which are you voting for?
I'm
the
going
hell
to
is
Anglican
other?
hell. It's more existential and
pretty
has
boring,
less fire.
yeah.
Sounds
Yeah.
boring.
Whereas, as opposed to Catholic hell, which has a lot of fire and kind of like...
Yeah, at least we have the drama.
You've got Dante's Inferno. That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
That is the first time one of my segues has failed.
Yeah, as I kind of just like, fuck you. I'm
You
just
went
ignore you.
straight past it.
Kobe!
So, say the segue again.
That's not how segues work.
Hey, Chris, you fucking asshole. Vote for the episode you want.
My episode. Hell is Other Robots. It's
Why? Besides the fact that it's your pick.
because I like it. It's got Beastie Boys in it. The episode narratively just runs. It doesn't set anything else. It doesn't set itself up. It just goes. It tells an adventure and expands the universe of the Futurama world by introducing a whole bunch of characters, by having era-appropriate jokes. Fry talking about 1999 again, it being 1,000 years and Beastie Boys only dropping 2 albums. Bender getting addicted to electricity, only a thing a robot can do, then converting to a robot religion, and then going to a robot hell where there's a robot devil, all in New Jersey.
Yeah, fuck New Jersey, apparently.
Just for the first season of the show, for its ambition, for what it makes and sustains. Not just these aren't throwaway characters, these aren't throwaway moments, these are all things that carry on through and even end the first run of the show. We return to the Robot Devil, such an important character that he is. I think it's a great episode. And I also love the Beastie Boys.
Now, because I'm
witness.
I'm gonna take a big guess and say that Phil is on the other end of the.
I am on the other
corner.
end.
He swings both ways. Sorry, I swear.
John Bear, lower me into the deciding pit. I'm on the Devil's Hands Idle Playthings. I think it's a consistently funnier episode. I think the jokes land a lot more. There's some weird moments in the first one where you just like where Bender's like, "Who wants a beer?" and he just gives Fry a beer, and then there's a close up of
Yeah, he
him
drinks
drinking
it.
beer, and he goes, "Ah." And then the episode moves on. You're like, what was that about? Why
likes
is that there? And I don't know. I think the joke was, look, Bender can dispense
Yeah,
beer.
Yeah.
Which, like,
in the first season.
I get it. It just felt a bit kind of empty. And I'm not saying that's a bad episode.
Empty like his
makes it
cavity.
a bad episode. But I feel like the jokes are a lot sort of denser and coming thicker and faster in Idle Hands. And I love how sophisticated that plotting is, for the opposite reason of it not being just this kind of straightforward adventure. It's this kind of complicated plot where you have the stakes set up at the beginning of what Fry wants, and then there's this subversion of the deal where the devil gets the bad end of it and turns into a whiny baby. I love that. And then his circuitous plan to bring everything back together is really like they hide it and you don't know what's going to happen, and it all works out and ties it and the climax happens in the opera itself.
Yeah.
It just feels very like a bunch of writers really at the top of their game, like really flexing their muscles and putting everything on the table, because they're like, this could be it. Let's make this one a fucking smash. And it feels like that's the result of this kind of this energy and this joy that goes into the episode. That's why it's my pick.
Ellen, I'm still deliberating. Do you know where you're at?
Yeah. I'm voting for The Devil's Hands because I hate Chris.
Yeah. Who wouldn't? I'm surprised you tolerate me this much.
Oh, shush your mouth. Similar reasons. I feel like while Hell is Other Robots is, really funny and it sets up all those things, I don't know. And it's a weird, slightly meta decision maker, but it's because we've been through all of Futurama that I guess going back to such an early season is a bit of a shock, because it's like the episode does a lot of great things, which is set up all these great characters and blah blah blah. But yeah, some of the just pacing just feels a little bit off. Whereas obviously. Idle Hands, they've had a bit more time. They're really feeling their groove. Each moment is kind of just like really packed with fun and energy. The ambition to weave in an actual operatic little moment where everyone is fitting to the definition of opera and singing all the lines. I think that's great. And not only that, but the vocal performances are fantastic. Like everyone's doing a bang up job.
In both, really. I think Katie Siegel has an amazing singing voice.
Yeah, because I was like, I thought it was just like a little ditty, but like re-listening it today, I was like, that's a really complicated melody line. That's actually quite complicated, and she nails it. And Billy West is just killing it. And yeah, I just think it's so funny, but also so sweet, and yeah, great fashion as well.
What's that belly button hole gets me every time.
Yeah,
it's so weird.
it's very.
It's so weird.
I want to put pennies in there.
It's of the time. Of the time, it's very 2000s.
Yeah, it's just so specifically around the belly button.
I will actually say, point to Hell is Other Robots.
Yeah.
You know how I complain a lot about sometimes
Yes.
Fry has a weird... Shut up. You know how sometimes Fry has a weird blazer sweater combo that
Yeah,
I don't
know. I
don't jive
disagree with you so
Yeah.
much.
But Hell is Other Robots, I really like that combo.
Yeah.
He's put a blue turtleneck underneath the blazer, and it pops, and I love that. I don't know why he switched that sweater.
Because he has different outfits.
But then he only wears that one.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. So this is weird because coming into this, I thought I was going to be super biased because I really thought that The Devil's Hands was going to be far and away my winner. I just thought that I would adore that episode far and beyond. I mean, not for nothing, it's written by Ken Keeler, so he's my favorite writer.
The elusive.
I fucking love it, and it's a culmination of the entire series. It's a culmination of the storyline of Fry and Leela, even just bringing back a whole bunch of supporting characters. You've got great jokes with Nixon, with Calculon, with a whole myriad of these characters. But then I forgot, because it's been fucking 3 years, how much I really love Hell is Other Robots. And I remember it very distinctly because Chris talked it up so heavily, because it is Chris, it is your favorite.
It is my favorite episode of
time.
Futurama.
And I just didn't realize how much fun I had with that episode and how much I really enjoyed just the take on religion and the take on drug use and using that Futurama flavor to really dig into the tropes and dig into the parody that some of the other second run episodes, especially such as Killer Apps, did way too. They didn't do it subtly, whereas Hell is Other Robots does do that. So what I had to do in my mind palace is run both episodes through my foundational for support column fucking thing.
Yes.
And honestly, what it is both of them I feel are, from a writing perspective, just as tight. I do honestly believe that. And they are just as funny. What Devil's Hands Are Idle Playthings gives me that Hell is Other Robots doesn't is it gives me the fucking heart.
The boodumps.
It gives me the bumps. Thank you, Elliot and BT. And it is, as I said, it's a culmination of everything. I remember finishing that episode on the first run that we did and realizing, oh, it feels like the end, but it's not, but it is. So I think because it gives me that emotional gut punch that I really want, and because I'm just partial to any Fry and Leela centered episodes, I have to give it to The Devil's Hands. However, as a caveat, I fucking love Bender centered episodes, and that's why Hell is Other Robots. It was very hard. It's very hard.
Hell is Other Robots is a fantastic
It's
episode.
good. They're both
For
great.
sure it is.
This is
That's why it's a wild card, baby.
This is neck and neck, honestly.
I must confess, I fucking hate you
That's
all.
cute.
No, I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
I know. We know
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
but that's got nothing to do with...
No,
the
of course not.
episode.
That's
No,
just
no,
your
no.
own personal flaws.
But I respect your opinions.
No, you don't.
That's not true.
That's not true either.
So what that means, though, is that we now have our wild card final,
Yes.
which is going to pit The Devil's Hands Are Idle Playthings against The Luck of the Friarish, which means...
Luck versus Satan. Who wins?
Which means Sean and Ellen are better at picking Futurama episodes than Phil and Chris.
This is
I think I
known.
voted against my pick, so...
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
This is known.
What are you doing?
This is a known
I
quality.
thought I watched them back to back, and I thought, like the Friars is a better episode. So I was like, oh yeah, this is good.
Yeah.
What was I talking about?
So with any luck, we'll release that for you next week. Sorry for the hiatus, boys and girls and everyone else. It's been
Courtesans and gentle fops.
The world's been a bit topsy-turvy.
What's happened?
Oh, nothing.
I've just been watching
apparently.
old episodes of Futurama in my basement.
if you're watching this in 2020,
Because we've redid it in video, all of them.
I mean, this could be referring to any point in 2020, honestly.
Yeah.
I hope it's the part when the bees get us.
yeah, or the aliens come and be like, guys, what?
I like the idea that birds will turn against us.
Okay.
Ooh,
Finally
yes.
usurping their
Which
masters.
birds? Like emus?
All of them.
We live in
birds.
Australia. Magpie swooping is
it's
I
happening.
have been swooped by a magpie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Many.
Yeah.
I've never been swooped by a magpie.
Oh, you must.
Get
I've walked under them.
You haven't lived.
In
Well, I'm
swooping
sorry.
territory.
We have to revoke your Australian
They
citizenship.
sit on my shoulder.
Ah.
You have
You
a weird
recognise you're one of
relationship. You have such a weird relationship, Chris, with animals.
I do.
Like, you openly despise a lot of them,
Yeah.
yet they adore you for it.
Yes.
It's like they respect it.
Treat them mean, keep them keen.
No, disregard that. Everyone listening, it's not right.
So everyone that is listening, if you do come back, we're on the home stretch. If you do.
If your city is still standing,
I'm going to say when you do. Yeah,
When-
that's right.
yeah.
Positivity.
Positivity is key. We will be finalizing the World Cup bracket, and then we get on to the tournament as it was intended.
yes.
However,
As God intended.
as God, which is me.
Between three men and a woman.
Yeah.
From our fallout shelter to yours.
And until that time, I've been Sean again, Sean.
I've been idling handy. What
Nice.
the fuck, Ellen?
Sticking to good old mineral oil. I've been Phil.
I've been something to do with rapping or
Nailed it.
Christian or Christian Chris.
I was going to say the Creasy Boys.
That I hate.
The Priesty Boys. Bow, bow, bow.
I'm out.
Fucking
Bye.
bye. Thanks for tuning in. If you'd like to contact us, you can do so by emailing us at babybeardmedia@gmail.com. Our socials are Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram @babybeardmedia. And if you're looking for a way to support us, the best way you can do it is by jumping onto iTunes or the podcast app and giving us a 5-star rating and a nice review. It goes a long way to helping us. Otherwise, if you'd like to join us next week,